Laura Astorga is up early, tending to her well-manicured yard at her East Los Angeles home. She needs to work a bit longer these days because Laura recently lost most of her savings, $60,000, in a Ponzi scheme. A scheme aimed at the vast Hispanic community in Los Angeles. It was orchestrated by this man, Juan Rangel.
Muy buenas noches tengan ustedes. Mi nombre es Juan Rangel.
I do feel betrayed because he targeted the Hispanic people, because he knows there's a lot of people in our community that we don't know what really, how they really invest the money, how the bank works, how the interest works.
Rangel promised annual returns of more than 60%. He advertised his company, Financial Plus Investments, in Spanish-language media, played on his ethnic identity, used local celebrities to pitch his scheme.
En ningún otro lugar podrán encontrar algo mejor para invertir, créanme.
Rangel also held investment seminars in the community. He convinced people to take equity out of their homes and invest their hard-earned savings.
One lady, for example, had cash for an insurance policy. Her son had been a Marine and killed in Iraq. And then she got the insurance policy, $100,000, and she used these funds to invest with this gentleman.
Rangel did not invest the money Laura and others gave him. Instead, he stole at least $30 million from more than 500 Hispanic, mostly working-class victims. The company was a sham, not registered with any government agency. He also secretly and fraudulently took title to many of their homes. Robert Ratana is an anti-fraud attorney who grew up in this community.
He relied on the fact that people trust others in their community to deal with them in an honest fashion, and the fact that people were looking for somebody who spoke their language. He also used investors to find others to invest by promising them a cash payment if they would also agree to invest in Financial Plus. Therefore, somebody who might be a neighbor, a family member, a coworker would invite others to invest in this great investment, not knowing that they were actually telling them about what was a Ponzi scheme.
It makes it easier for the con man when they're dealing with somebody that's part of a known group, because you do have this sense that everybody in the group is doing it, so it must be a good thing to do.
That's called affinity fraud, and experts say it's a common tactic of the crook. But there are steps individuals can take to protect themselves.
It's important to check with the SEC and FINRA and other regulatory agencies to find out if the investment company is registered. It's also important to realize that if a company is offering excessively high interest rates or rates of return, that is a red flag. And it's important for people not to be impressed by someone who's well-dressed, drives a fancy car, or has a nice office, and gives the impression of being a successful business person, because that doesn't necessarily mean that they're not committing fraud.
State, national, and federal regulators have tools to help you make better informed investing decisions. For instance, FINRA, a national regulator of the securities industry, offers the free broker check tool so that you can find out if someone selling you an investment is licensed. The Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, offers the Edgar database to see whether the investment is registered. Go to the FINRA Foundation's saveandinvest.org website to access these tools and more. Laura Astorga and her friends and neighbors have learned a painful but important lesson.
I would advise my Hispanic people not to invest in companies without researching, without doing their homework.
As for Juan Rangel, he was sentenced to 22 years in federal prison.